No, man, but you got to keep going. What am I going to do, quit? That's not an option. You got to keep on keeping on. Life's a garden, dig it? You make it work for you. You never give up, man. That's my philosophy.
All right, all my passionate plant people and garden enthusiasts. Welcome to what is my new favorite word right now, the penultimate episode of the Let's Get Growing show for 2025. Yes, this is the second to the last Let's Get Growing show of the year here today. And we are taking a look back. We're taking a look back at our year 2025 today, and we've got some special guests with us as well to join us for the show. Our feature contributors for the show today, we'll have David, Bowtie Life in the Garden, and Paul from Guten Gardening coming up here in just a couple of minutes. Plus, we'll also have our good friend Sarah, formerly of Sarah's Seed Shop, and our trivia segment of and all of that. She's going to come and join with us here in just a little bit as well too. We also have our sponsor with us joining us later in the show as well too. Charles Malky from Ivy Organics going to drop by and have a little chat with us towards the end of the show as well too. So yeah, great show for you all here today with some great guests. Looking back at our year here to on the Let's Get Growing show 2025. How about that? It's already the end of the year. So again, thank you all for being here. Really glad to see all of you. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas to all of you coming up here this coming week. So again, lots and lots of great things coming up for us here. We'll be hitting our holiday break after this weekend for a couple of weeks, and then we'll be back at it again here on the show for the show. After the new year. We'll talk a little bit more about that coming up here a little bit later on the show. But for right now, real quick, let's go ahead and click that thumbs up, hit the like button, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Bell notification to be notified of any of our upcoming videos or live streams, and definitely share with all of your friends. Let them know about the Let's Get Growing show here every weekend. We're here every Saturday and Sunday. 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 2 p.m. Eastern. That's about 7 p.m. for those of you over in the UK, and really dark and early for those of you in Australia who get up with us to join us here on the show as well too. I think it's somewhere like 4 in the morning or something like that. But thank you to those of you, like our good friend Rick, who gets up and joins with us each weekend too, to come and join with us here from Australia. So again, thank you, and thanks to all of our replay watchers. Team Replay, definitely drop into the comments section below. It's great to have you all here with us, join with us on your time. It's great to see you here. And like I said, drop in, let me know how your year went. Let me know what you're thinking about and looking forward to coming up in this next year as well. Or just drop in and say hi down in the comments section below. Thank you for watching us on the replay. And if you are here with us and you have any questions or comments, drop into our chat. Definitely let us know that you're here. Let us know what you got growing on. I want to hear from everybody here today. Thank you for being here. And definitely drop any questions or comments you have into the chat as well too. We'll get those answered throughout the show. And definitely, if you got any questions for our guests too, drop those in. I want to make sure we get those asked of our guests while they're here with us today. So right on, and follow all our links down below in the description to all of our other social media and all of our guests here today. I'm sure everybody's got some sort of link down below as well too, down there too, so we can go and show everybody some support here for all of our contributors here on the Let's Get Growing show. All right. I don't know if all of you can tell or not, but if it's coming out in my voice being a little more raspy right now, I'm dealing with a real, a massive cold really just hit me. I'm feeling, a little bit better today. Yesterday, I think, was the worst day of it. So I'm hanging in there with everybody here today. We're still going to have a really great show. But as I was telling everybody before we got started today, I'm feeling about 50% today. But like I said, I love being in here on the live streams. I love hanging out with all of you guys. So I'm sure we're going to do really well anyways. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on right now. Let's drop into our chat here and see who we got joining along with us here today. And of course, we want to say hi right at the top of the show to our good friend and facilitator, Jay Dixon, in the house with us. Keep an eye out there for any links and all of that sort of stuff as Jay facilitates our chat. And if you got any channels you want to last minute shout out here in 2025, definitely let us know if you're joining with us here, or you're new to the show or channel and all of that as well too. And we'll get some links in for you for channel shout out as well too. So thanks for being here, Jay. And like I said, if you want to go back a few weeks ago too, Jay hosted some really great weekends of shows for us, a couple of weeks in a row for us there a few weeks back. So you want to go back and check out some of those shows as well too. Right on, right on. We got I see our good friend Paul in the chat there. He'll be with us here in just a few minutes here as we get moving along today in our look back at 2025. So good to see you, Paul. We'll talk with you in just a minute. I see Dusty Flats. Nice and bright sunny day. Awesome. That's great. That's great to hear. It was great to meet you for our community show just last week. That was really awesome to see you as well too. Some new faces. Our good friend Adam Burley, our other moderator, joining us from right up the road from me here in Southern Oregon, there in Central Point. So great to have you with us here today, Adam. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Thanks for all your help here on the show. Really appreciate it. Excellent, excellent. Let's see here. Dusty Flat says, spoke too soon. I guess when I thought winter returned, the wind got all that rain in the Northwest. Yeah, kind of got all that rain coming your way, I guess, huh? Yeah, everybody got soaked. I mean, I was the town that I live in, or used to live in before I moved here to Southern Oregon, has been dealing with a lot of the massive flooding and everything that's been going on down there, or up there from me here, anyways, in Seattle, in that area up in the Northwest. Lots and lots of rain up there for sure, too. Lots and lots of flooding. I see Bowtie Life in the Garden here. I see him in the chat with us right now. So hopefully he'll be jumping on with us here real quick in just a few minutes. We'll get to say hi again to Bowtie Life in the Garden with us here today, here for our look back on 2025. We'll talk to our In the Garden segment producers here in just a few minutes. Let's see who else we got in here. I see Eddie in the chat as well. Hey, Eddie. Great to see you. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let's see here. I also see Shawnee in the chat saying hi. Good day, everybody. Right on. Excellent to see you. I see Muddy Puddles Farm saying hello. Excellent, excellent. We got Feeding Fred. Great to see you. Thanks for jumping in. Right on, man. Excellent to have you here with us today. Like I said, we're looking back at 2025, man. What a year. What a year for the Let's Get Growing show here for us as well, too. I brought a couple of things into the studio with us today. A couple of things I keep kind of as, kind of a somewhat of the archive or that sort of stuff, as you would, as from planning and all of that. And there's just a couple of little folder books here. And this one here is kind of, I'll show you here, kind of a little look into it. It's kind of each month, as I'm planning the show and we get our different guests on, and I kind of have a little system, a little color code system for the different guests, the different segments, the different things, all that sort of stuff. And so I was kind of looking back through some of these as I was thinking about this last year for us here on the Let's Get Growing show. And I also have this one here, which is basically the master guest list for all of the Let's Get Growing show since the Let's Get Growing show got started. It's a master list of all of our guests that we've had throughout the last, this is all of them for the last 3 years now that we've been doing the Let's Get Growing show. It's page after page after page. Look at this. Page after page of shows and guests that we've done here on the Let's Get Growing show. It's just amazing the amount of people, for one, that there are out there in the gardening community that are out there producing, as I call them, communicators, right? Different types of gardening communicators, whether that's YouTubers, authors, podcasters, just all sorts of other folks. Whether they've been producing their own television shows. We've had television gardeners like Joe Lample or Cisco Morris, Nick Fedoroff. Folks like that have been on the show. Different types of gardening communicators was the idea for this show, to get to meet all of these really just awesome, amazing people throughout all over the gardening community, around the world even too. We've had amazing guests from around the world that we've been so lucky to have here on the Let's Get Growing show. And here's the thing too, we're still a pretty small shows when you consider audience, and I'd really love to fix that coming up in 2026, as that's one of our goals and all of that. But I want you guys to really think about this as those of you folks who do come here and hang out with us each and every week, who've built this community here that we've been building here on the Let's Get Growing show, about really kind of how exclusive and fortunate that you all and I have been, in getting this great opportunity that we've had through this show to be able to meet all of these just amazing, amazing people. Let's see here. When did we get started in 25 here on our list? Right here. Yeah. Yeah. What was it? Yeah, we had, I think I might have a typo on there from something, but anyways, yeah, we've got all of our shows. Oh yeah, in fact, that's what it was. Right, pretty much at the top of 2025, one of our first couple of shows was our 100th show that we did this year. Our 100th show. We had our good friend Wendy Fan back with us on our 100th show. We had Gary Prolarchik, Rusted Garden, with Callie Kim together on one of that first Sunday edition. I think when we had Bevan Cohen, who started out. But again, and I was just looking too here, talking about the 100th show, finishing up tomorrow's show for us will be our 179th show. So that means that since the beginning of the year, when we did, I think that was our third show, which was our 100th show, we've done another 79 shows leading up to the end of the year here, which means that soon into our next year in 2026, we'll be getting our 200th Let's Get Growing show. I'm just looking back at all these just wonderful, amazing people. Jenna from Growfully with Jenna joined with us again. You remember Jenna had to take over the show when I was first starting to have problems with my camera. That was kind of like, I think one of the first indications that we were in for some problems and some troubles with our tech was with Jenna from Growfully with Jenna, when she joined with us. And she ended up, and she never really done live streams before. Our show was the first time she gotten on and done live stream. So this was her second appearance, and here she was basically taking over. She took right over. She did such an incredible job just jumping right in, Jennifer Jewell and our book clubs, our amazing book clubs throughout this year. I hope y'all got a chance to take a look back. In fact, I'll just mention this real quick here before we get going. I'm going to jump in here soon as hopefully I'll see. I know I saw Bowtie David in the chat there. I don't know if he's setting up or trying to get in, but we'll get him in when he comes up. But we got our good friends from the In the Garden segment we'll have here coming up in just a minute. But just kind of want to mention real quick, though, too, again, last week we did have our community show, another amazing feature that we featured this year in 2025. This stemmed from last year's. Not, I mean, we just got done with this year's Halloween hangout, but on the year before, I invited folks to join with us on the show. I handed out the show link and come in and join with us in the middle of our two different shows that we watch on our Halloween hangout, and folks came on with us. We had a great time hanging out. I thought this would be something that would be kind of something fun we could do new this year. And I didn't know how it was going to turn out either, but it ended up being a really amazing event for us that we've got to do throughout the year a few different times, and we'll look to it forward to doing more of them throughout 2026 too. But it's kind of like you think of the real old school radio call-in. This is a video version. I just hand you a link, you come in and join with us on the show, and we have a great conversation, get to learn all about you and folks in the chat, especially for those of you who are here with us regularly in our chat. It's a great way for you guys to get to meet each other and get to know each other a little bit, putting some faces to the names that everybody gets in the conversation. So those community shows were just really awesome. Last week's was as well too. You want to go meet some folks from our community, definitely go through and check out some of our community shows throughout this year as well too. If you didn't get the chance to check out some of those, you can go in the back video live stream catalog and check out those as well too. If you weren't here with us last week too, we had our last discussion with our good friend Gardner Scott last Sunday on the Sunday edition of the show with us. Scott joined with us to answer all of your gardening questions and kind of do a little 2025 year in review with Gardner Scott. And then the week before too, on the Sunday edition, we did our 2025 year in review, talking about all of the different books that we had on our book club. Our book club's another great fun thing to follow along with throughout the year here on the Let's Get Growing show as well too. So lots and lots of great books. We had our good friend Mark Shea Colbert, who's also a contributor to our In the Garden segment. So we talked with him for our book review and all of that. But today we got with us for our In the Garden segment, a 2025 year in review. We've got our other two contributors that we invited onto the In the Garden segment. Everybody's used to seeing Mark over the first couple of years and all of that, but we kind of divvied up the In the Garden segment a little bit more this year and invited a couple of friends along with us to show us and take us along with us in their garden as well too. So let's take a look here. Let's see if I can pull this off real quick. And because I didn't get the right video capture in, but let's see if I can do this. But let's get to talk with our good friends from In the Garden. Oh, I knew it. You have to be fancy on the buttons to run that type of situation there. But let's welcome to the show our good friend Paul from Guten Gardening. Right on. We got Paul from Guten Gardening with us here. Also, as well, too, let's welcome our good friend David, Bowtie Life in the Garden.
Hey, David.
Can you hear me, guys?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you, man. I can hear you.
Yay.
How are you guys doing?
Life is good, man.
Life is good.
Busy,
Life
busy,
is
but
great.
good.
Life is great.
This is my first day feeling human after getting back from Hawaii.
I know. You just went on this great, amazing trip that you took us all on. We got to see you last week on the community show, joining with us live from a really cool location there in Hawaii during your trip. So thanks again for doing that for one, too. Another cool, fun thing, fun little addition to our community show there. But yeah, right on. And again, too, thanks guys too. First, before we really get into this, for jumping into it this year for us as we're looking back at 2025 this year, in our In the Garden segment. I was mentioning to everybody, and everybody knows who watches the show regularly that our good friend Mark, Mr. NBC, was our In the Garden guy. But Mark and I kind of decided let's divvy it up a little bit, you know, and he does our book club for us and all of that as well too. But you guys, you know, really jumped in and really showed us some really great stuff this year. So I really want to thank you for taking your time to, you know, be a part of the Let's Get Growing show and join in the team as you will, and contributing for us as far as In the Garden's concerned. So again, big huge thank you from me here at Let's Get Growing, and a big huge thank you from our audience as well too, because I know that they really appreciate what you guys do in contributing to our show as well.
That is a blast.
Absolutely.
It's been an
It
absolute
has
blast.
been. It's been a joy. Though
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
tell
So
you,
first, let's start with you, David, real quick. Let's talk about it a little bit. You know, tell us about your experience in this year, and a little look back at, you know, how it's been being a part of the show and doing the In the Garden segment and all of that. And, you know, tell us a little
yeah,
bit about how
it's
you
it's
felt about getting started with it and all of that as well too.
it's been a tale. Every month
Tail.
about Tuesday, Enoch might text me. Enoch might not text me. Say, "Are you ready for Sunday?" And most of the time, I hadn't even thought about it. Though I've got enough content, I pretty much came up with something really quick, and it's kind of indicative of where I am right now. In fact, if I turn my camera around here, you can see I've got a banana thermos. I got a box over here. I'll show you in just a minute. But I forgot I was going to be on today. And Jay Dixon sends me an email, urgent reminder. And so I'm running around the house thinking, oh my goodness,
I know,
I'm
we
supposed
thought
to
we
be on
better.
today. And
I know, we
so
thought we
Mrs.
better.
Bowtie, yeah, Mrs. Bowtie brings out my banana and my pills. I'm sitting here drinking my water real quick and setting up a table. I'm actually in a nice easy chair outside, and got everything set up just beautifully, because right now it's kind of indicates what I've been doing today is I've been harvesting turmeric. Lots and lots of turmeric. This big old box is full of turmeric that I've been picking up. I'm recording a front and side garden tour, kind of last minute, just like I do everything. So that's my
great.
story. But it's always been fun. It's always been fun. It's just the way things happen in the Bowtie Gardens.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, again, too. That's another part of being in the garden. Some of us are just busy gardeners, right? How about for you,
Sure,
Paul? Tell us a little
we'll
bit
call
about
we'll call it busy just to be nice.
That's right.
Not brain dead.
Right. Let's see. Right on. Tell us a little bit yourself too, Paul. Looking back a little bit here on joining with us and contributing to the In the Garden segment.
Oh, it's been fantastic, and I'll say it's really interesting each month trying to make a decision as to, you know, what the best content might be, or what content might be fitting, I guess, is the way I think about it as I go throughout the month. This year I've slowed down a little bit in terms of the number of videos I've been producing because of other things that have come up with regard to being busy. But it's always been nice to have that piece to, you know, put me in that mindset of what is the best thing for the moment, or what can I produce. And so it's been a lot of fun. It's really great reaching out to, I think some people in the community here are commenting as well on my content on my own channel, but you know, that opportunity to reach out to a new community has been really, really valuable, and I appreciate that very much. As you know, as we go through, especially this time of year, I mean, if I were sitting outside of my house right now, you'd see the remains of about 4 or 5 inches of snow, plus a bunch of ice from the 40-degree melt that then flash froze at 9 degrees at night. So you'd see it's a whole different animal. So sitting in, you know, in an indoor space, I'm actually right around the corner from my indoor growing area, and I'm, you know, contemplating as always what content comes next.
Yeah. What's next? What's going on? But yeah, again, too, just really, really awesome. Sorry, I was kind of a little distracted with something there, but you know, really awesome to have you guys and be able to, you know, kind of, you know, get a different look and kind of some different locations as well too for us for the in the garden segment. It was one of the other things we were kind of thinking about. So it's, kind of really fun and interesting to see the different dynamics of each of our gardens from different places. Mark and I more from the
Absolutely.
Pacific Northwest, and then you, David, all the way down there, and Florida, dealing with that nice Florida weather, and then and then Paul,
Yeah,
you up there,
it's a struggle down here.
really a lot colder region and all of that. So so that really I thought was something that was going to be really helpful as I was thinking about who do I ask, who do I want to try to get involved with this in the garden segment and everything. And then another thing too, I'll have to say though too, is one of those things is that I was just really, glad that I only had to ask two people. When it came down to it, I was like, oh, I had a few people in mind. I was thinking, and I was like, okay, well, these ones I'm gonna ask first and whatever. And that was it. All I had asked was two people, and you guys jumped right in and were really enthusiastic about it, and really have given us some really cool stuff. I like kind of too, Paul, when it comes to and everybody brings something a little bit different to what they're bringing in to this segment and everything. And I kind of like some of those ones that you've done, this kind of introspection and looking at, like gardening with the kids, and or what's winter meet, with this last one talking about winter and all of that sort of stuff too. That's really brings something really for a lot for us to be thinking about too, which is really great.
It's kind of interesting when I think about the amount of time that I have spent in the garden in the last 6 years versus the previous 30 plus years, from the time I left the farm that I grew up on until I really got back into gardening. And the amount of enjoyment in the summer. And then we didn't pick our property, we didn't pick the location of where in the States we were going to live based on the garden. But there are elements then when you become obsessed with or really strongly in favor of getting out in the garden, and then it's pulled away from you, that I think causes some introspection. I think that's a good word there. I think it causes some introspection as to what you're going to do, or what can bring some of those same feelings. I mean, people talk about garden therapy. We talk about the value of getting your hands in the soil. And when the soil's frozen, what are you going to do about it? And so, I think that kind of content, keeping our minds focused around what we can do outside of it, outside of those, if you live in an area like I do, is pretty important.
Yeah, absolutely. So right on,
Dusty,
guys.
I see Dusty asked a question there. I don't know if you.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I am sorry. I've got a few
No
things
worries.
going on today, but what did Dusty? Let's find Dusty's question.
It's
right there at the end.
toward the bottom.
Second from the last comment.
Because
that I
Dusty
go.
definitely is. Dusty
was the
definitely
best?
is pretty close to me.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. You guys are practically neighbors for sure.
Yep.
What was
I'll
the best growing veg and variety this year for you? I think Dusty was pretty much taking what was next coming out. That's what I was thinking about moving on to, is talking about our actual gardens this year. So tell us a little bit about the garden, and include what was your best growing variety this year for you.
Yeah. Well, our kale didn't go away completely until, it's still out there and it's frozen in place, one of those droopy little tree looking things right now. But kale was great this year. Phenomenal. And I know that doesn't mean much to a lot of people, but kale is just one of those vegetables that I love. But if I had to pick the one that just super performed well for us, it was a great year for potatoes. And I know, that's kind of my go-to. I love potatoes more than just about anything else, right up there with sweet potatoes. But potatoes were phenomenal for me this year. And I think, the weather here in Zone 5, Wisconsin, did well for us. We had good rain at good times. It made a huge difference. And so our potato crop in general were fantastic. We grew some new varieties this year. King Harry's were something I had never tried to grow before as a variety. It was phenomenal this year. And we grew a new Sharpo variety called the Sharpo Una, and it was amazing. So yeah, for me, potatoes were a great year for potatoes. The other vegetables were great too, but I love it when we get a good year of potatoes.
Yeah. Excellent. That's awesome. How about for you, David? How's the garden for you this year overall?
It has been a
What
little
was your
crazy.
best veg and variety?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, sorry, I'm having trouble here. It has actually been very hectic this year. You know, we started that house remodel, kind of got in deeper than I thought, and so the garden has been very hectic. Plus, we've been traveling a lot, and so you have to kind of give yourself a little bit of grace and say, okay, well, this is going to be handled, this is not. And it's interesting, you know, we've got the different locations in the country. It's interesting that I've always loved watching all the different perspectives from all the different perspectives of the different gardens in the world. And it's interesting because, you know, I sit here and I grow in my garden, and the guy right behind me grows. He grows some of the exact same stuff, but you know what? He doesn't do it the same way that I do it, and he does something completely different. And there is a power strip in the red. You can't get to it. Never mind. Sorry. we're having power trouble here.
Uh-oh.
My phone's about to die, and
Oh no.
Yeah, I think we've got it handled. Let me just see if we got it. Anyway, so okay. Mrs. Bowtie is helping.
There you go. You got a behind the scenes producer working.
That's right. I do. She's awesome. So anyway, you know, Bill back here gardens the exact same things. He has blueberries. He treats his totally different because his are in a different spot. And so I go watch a video from someone in the UK, and they do something completely different with their blueberries. And it's like, wait, that's more like what I'm doing here. And suddenly the guy growing blueberries in the UK is teaching me what I need to do in my yard better than my backyard neighbor who's been growing them for 10 years can, because we're in a different type of location. And so it's so important to have these different perspectives and learn. And that's really what it boils down to, is just learning, okay, this is going to happen. This is not going to happen. What do I need to do next year to improve it? And then, like this year with the travel, we've lost a lot of crops, and we lost 50 pounds worth of blackberries this year, unfortunately, because we were gone. I came back from that trip and my blackberry vines bare.
Oh my, yeah. Got cleaned
Occasionally
out.
Cleaned out. I mean, totally cleaned out. I think I may have harvested about half a pound.
My.
Out of I predict it was probably 50 pounds. But now, so we're working on the turmeric, and I've got a big old box here of turmeric that I'm working on harvesting. And I'm actually recording. I started recording my front and side garden tour, and this month's theme is harvesting turmeric and seeds. So, you know, you're getting into that time of year here in Florida, and I've kind of wandered off the topic here, so you're going to have to redirect me and get me back on topic.
Oh no, I think you did. I think you did pretty well as far as that goes. But tell me this, David. Now that 2025 is all finished up, what are you thinking about, and how are you feeling about 2026 coming up?
Trying to figure out what we can do. I'm thrilled about the turmeric. Mrs. Bowtie is starting to consume turmeric now for health. So that's a high topic. I've got to get thing like ginger. Nice thing about ginger, it's an easy step over from turmeric to ginger. I have a lot of ginger right now. I've got to increase it by quite a bit. I'm gonna need probably 60 pounds of ginger for next year.
Right.
So
wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of ginger.
Well, we like brewing it as tea. We like putting it in food. I eat it as pickled ginger, and but yeah, I'm just trying to think. Like right now, we've lost our source for the horse bedding compost. Well, we are in the process of losing it. I got a huge pile. In fact, almost it's on the other side of this trunk right here. I got a huge pile for next year, and I've got to think about compost for next year. And then we're going to do better on our strawberries. I've been working all year to get that strawberry patch growing again, so that next year we can have more strawberries.
Jay was asking here, what lessons did you learn that will change your gardening next year?
Yeah, what lessons? That's a really good question, and I need to figure out what lessons are the best learned. Okay, so okra. I grew my
Yeah.
okra using the Florida weave this year.
Okay.
Holy cow! What a ingenious idea. I saw someone do it somewhere. Problem with growing my okra, I grow this okra that grows 17 foot tall. Yeah, 17 foot tall okra.
Wow.
And it blows
tall.
over. It's huge. It's
I can't
enormous. The
imagine
first
that
year I
plant.
grew it. Yeah. I have a ladder, a 9-foot ladder that I have to set up permanently next to the okra, and I sit there and I harvest. Of course, now, okay, I know you can chop them off and they'll regrow and everything,
Yeah.
but I love seeing how big they can go. So yeah, I learned about the Florida weave this year. Here I am living in Florida, year 8. Finally learned about the Florida weave. That's amazing.
It is. That is
I
really amazing.
listened, and I listened not to a person from Florida. I listened to a person from North Carolina.
Right. It's me. And then again, too, and that's something I say too as well, is, there's a lot that we can learn regionally from each other as well. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
It really
it's good
is.
to get some knowledge from folks who are nearest you. That's why I always say local gardeners are your best information to get and all of that. But it doesn't mean there isn't a lot that's out there that we can't learn from each other from different places of the world, even. I think that's one of the things that really I've gotten to know or understand a lot more through doing this show and getting to talk to gardeners from all around the world to see and understand some of those different things that are familiar to each of us, but then also things that could be things that we can learn from each other as well that could work no matter what region we're in and all of that as well too.
Yeah.
And there's tie up strategy like you're talking about with the Florida weave. That's thing. Those are good tactics that can work in gardens all over.
I think the big lesson for in general is that I've learned over the past couple of years, especially being on YouTube, is don't limit your local gardeners. Yeah, they're a good source, but don't limit it to local gardeners. Look literally around the world for ideas, because there are some things that you'll discover, hey, this works really good here. I like this method, even though none of my neighbors are doing this, but it works fantastic for me. And my neighbors come over, and in fact, the Florida weave did get some attention. Oh, what is this? People didn't know what it was in Florida. Right. And like, well, it's called the Florida weave.
Let's get you familiar with this idea.
That's right. I don't know.
I know.
Yeah.
That's great, though. That's great. How about you, Paul? I mean, again, what are you thinking about, as far as lessons learned this year, your outlook for the garden this next year? What are some things you're looking forward to, that sort of thing?
I will say it's definitely, there's never a year without learning. So I know that's kind of cliche and vague, but I think that happens to some degree every year. I think as content creators, one of the things that happens, and I've referenced this probably even before on the show, but certainly I've referenced it in my own content, is that, when you become so obsessed with creating content, one of the things that happens is you think, oh, I've got to record this before I do this. I've got to record this before I do this. And so things don't get harvested, things don't get done because you're trying to create this like, oh, well, this thing, everybody has to see this. And so stuff goes to waste. And so I think I did a little bit better job with that this year, but there are certainly pieces that I want to improve upon there. And I will say this year I had the pleasure and privilege of interviewing the owners at Keen Organics. It's Keen Garlic, which is a Madison company. And I learned more about growing garlic varieties than I ever could have imagined, really. And I've got some really cool experiments planned with the garlic that we're growing, some foliar spray stuff, some just different types of experiments. I'm really excited about for the upcoming year. And I've been working, in collaboration also with a couple of other places, Wood Prairie Family Farm and Greenstalk Gardens. And so I've got some really cool stuff coming up with them that I'm excited for, trying some new varieties of potatoes, sweet potatoes, etc. So I've got a lot that I'm looking forward to, and I think just in general, my goal is to be as minimally wasteful as possible. with what I'm growing and taking advantage as much as possible. I think we've done a much better job of growing things that we want to eat versus growing things that look cool and maybe we're not as fond of when it comes to actually consuming. So I think we've headed in a good direction there.
Oh yeah, perfect. Excellent. Well, I mean, great. I mean, just lots of really awesome stuff. Again, too, to look forward to as we're going into our 2026 gardening season. So that definitely means that hopefully, as we work through this next season, we'll get to see some of all of these things that you got growing on here, and get to follow along with you a little bit as well as you're growing in the garden, right?
I have to go check on right after this. I'm going to go over and check on my sweet potatoes that I've got growing indoors and see where we're at.
Oh,
more
excellent,
potatoes.
excellent.
Well, sweets this time, so
Sweet potatoes for
I
sure.
know.
Definitely. All sorts of potatoes.
Before this year, I called Tony O'Neill the Potato King, but after watching all your potatoes this year, you might have gotten promoted to Mr. Potato Head at least.
That works for me. That works for me for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true. Yes, I did just buy. I saw Haas Tools announce that they're selling their potatoes. I don't know, a week or two ago. That's Mrs. Bowtie right there, and she reminded me that I did just order my seed potatoes, my Yukon Golds. I'm so excited. So
awesome. Just saying.
Thank you, dear.
Just saying, right? Thank you, Mrs. Bowtie, for sure. I think that's one of the things that makes you great is getting a little bit from your wife as well too, right? Thank you, Jennifer.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I get a lot from her. She probably accounts for about 60% of my brain.
Real quick before we move on, I just saw a question pop up here real quick. Let's see here. I've never grown sweet potatoes. What variety do you suggest and where did you get them?
So there are tons of varieties have done well for us. We've gotten them. The last year we got them from Wood Prairie Family Farm. They have about four or five different varieties that they offer. But Taterman.com, which is George's Plants Farm, is where we've also gotten them in the past. And my personal favorites, how too many to mention, but Beauregard is delicious. And Georgia Jet is fantastic. And if you like, purple sweet potatoes, Purple Passion is wonderful. If you like purple sweet potatoes, and if you want one that is really calm and a little bit starchier, Hannah is a great sweet potato, and it's good, a really good producer, which is a whiter flesh. Yeah, it's absolutely phenomenal.
Awesome. Yeah, exactly. Right on. Well, thank you guys so much for jumping on with us today for our what is our second to the last show of the year here. I can't believe that it's the end of the year already here, but what a great way to finish up this year, but to get to hang out with all of our good friends here from the Let's Get Growing show. And one more time, thank you guys so much for your contributions and to putting together your videos for In the Garden on our Sunday edition of the show. And I really do look forward to seeing what you guys bring for us in 2026.
Enoch, I wanted to say one more time as well. Thank you. I think we all can say we have our own goals for our own channels. I'd love to hit 50,000. That's my goal this year. 50,000 subscribers. And there's certain things that we all have, but I would also love to see this channel get the viewership. I see the replays is phenomenal, but even the live viewership that I think it deserves. And I know you've talked about that a lot, but there's just so much good happening here on the channel. And I appreciate the opportunity to be a part of it, but I hope the rest of your year treats you well as well.
Thank you, man. Really appreciate it. Yeah, same back at you as well, too. Yeah, that's going to be our big goal in 26, though, too, for us here on the show. Is really get the word out there and let's really grow this audience. Because as I was mentioning at the beginning of the show, I mean, it's really great. I mean, look at do you see this list I put out? I was showing everybody. I mean, it's just pages and pages of these just amazing people that have been on this show. You know, going to 179 shows after we finish up tomorrow, you know. So I mean, it's kind of cool and fun to think that we're this just awesome exclusive group in the gardening corner of the gardening world that gets to, you know, have this really amazing, you know, experience to get to see and meet and learn from all of these different people. But let's get the word out. Let's not,
Yeah.
you know, let's not be as exclusive this next year, and let's really get it out there, because I think a lot of people would really out there would really enjoy what we all get to enjoy here each and every week. And again, thanks, Paul. And
I would like
David,
to say something as well, and
absolutely.
without parroting Paul, because he stole every word I was going to say, I'm sure. Even the 50,000. No, I'll be happy to hit 5,000 myself. But
Right.
I think one of the biggest things that I just released a video. Was that this morning or yesterday? I can't remember. But we're talking about the friendships that you're making here, and I've really enjoyed being friends with you, Enoch,
Yeah.
and getting to know you, and then just everybody in here. And really, you know, this trip to Hawaii, we took everybody along with us, and it just felt like we had a whole bus full of friends with us. And we did live streams from the resort and on top of the volcano, and then back at the resort, and then back here on Punch Bowl. And it was just so neat having the friends along on this pretty cool trip that we really enjoyed. And I enjoy all the friendships that this community brings. And you know, you're having trouble, things are a little bit struggly, and Jay Dixon says something like, Bowtie David's trying his best, and yes, I am. It's like, thank you, Jay. I appreciate that. But you know, we encourage each other, we inspire each other, and I've just found a lot of value in the friendships. Everybody that's in here, you know, Dusty, and I mean, I just go back and read every single name that's in here, Adam, and so many people that comment on the videos that just like, okay, now what about this one? And then we start swapping ideas back and forth, and it's been so fun. And I know for me, just very gratifying, very encouraging. You're not out there alone. I can't imagine doing this, you know, in the 60s when we didn't have a support system like this. You know, think about what we have right now, and the community we've built here that would have never been built without YouTube, without Enoch, people like Enoch building these communities. This is just so invaluable.
Yeah, well, I really appreciate it. And I just, you know, one of the things is community is really important. It's just been really amazing to see what's been able to come out of all of this project. That, you know, is this idea of like, well, how and what can we do to create something fun and entertaining that brings the community together to not only learn from each other, but also just to get to know each other, that sort of thing. And we've done, I think, a fantastic job at the level we've done before. But as Paul was mentioning, let's go for the sky this next year. Let's really grow some things and really get growing next year for sure. And I look forward to doing that with both of you guys as well, for sure too as well. So again, thanks again, you guys, for being here with us today. I mean, just really amazing to catch up with you. And we look forward to seeing you in 2026 back in the garden again.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yeah, take care.
You got it, guys. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Charles Malky, biologist and plant expert with Ivory Organics, where we grow cool plants, and author, Saving the World with the Home Garden. Ivory Organic 3-in-1 Plant Guard has 7 natural oils that protect your plants, not just from the summer heat as well as winter cold, but also protects your plants from damaging insects and rodents.
Whoops. Uh-oh, I messed that up. Oh my gosh, what did I do? Oh my. I hit one button in here and everything goes crazy on me. Oh my. Oh well, that's just the way it goes around here today. Anyways, everything's going far better than I was expecting though too, as I was feeling before this whole show got started, because like I said, I'm really kind of under the weather, but it's great to get here, hang out with all of you here. With us here today. What I was doing there was I was looking around to see if I could find something, because again, too, with trying to put this whole thing together, I am so surprised that I missed one thing that I really wanted to have here, getting things going, but we're just going to have to do without it when it comes down to it. But I'm missing Sarah's Seed Shop's Sarah's trivia intro, because I wanted to play that real quick, because we are so lucky, you guys. She is dealing with under the weather just like me, just as bad. We've been talking and messaging the last couple of days, but we're so fortunate that she still made it here with us today. Let's get her in here. Let's see. We've got Sarah. Everybody, look, it's Sarah. Woo, who is now Sarah Siebel.
Seibel.
Bible. Okay. Oh, see, I knew it. I knew it. And I said this last week. I was like, she's going to correct me if I got it right or wrong. We'll
No
see
worries.
when we got her. But there we go. Excellent. Sarah, it's so great to have you back here with us on the show. Oh, oh my gosh, these things got. And here's another thing that they did to me too. They put these timers on our banners. There we go. All right. Anyways, great to have you here. Thanks, Sarah, for joining with us today.
Yeah, good to be here.
Yeah. He's feeling a little better.
Oh, yeah. Feeling fine. I feel like I sound kind of, sick, but
Yeah.
at least I'm feeling okay. So can't complain too much.
Yeah, no doubt. Can't complain too much. That's what I've been saying. But yeah, it's I think I'm about 50% today. Even though, again, I always feel better when I get the show going and all of that though too. But I still feel like But here we are. We're gonna do it anyways. It's the end of 2025, and wanted to have you back on the show so that we can say hello and to you one last time here in 2025, and again get a chance to thank you for all you've done over the last couple of years in being a part of the show, because Sarah, you've been one of the original pieces of this show since we first started and first got this thing going and everything. And I was mentioning to Paul and David just a minute ago and everything about when I reached out to them and was asking them about doing the In the Garden segment, and I had a few people that I wanted to ask, to do that, but they were, so I just kind of went down the list. I only had to ask 2 people, and they were just really excited about doing it and all of that. And I have to say though too, even more so for you as well too, someone who's not necessarily familiar with being on YouTube, making videos, doing live streams, all that sort of stuff. You had started Sarah's Seed Shop as we were getting started with the Let's Get Growing show idea and getting everything going. And I thought, let's reach out to Sarah and just see if maybe she might want to do something. We can kind of work together and coordinate between you and your seed shop and all that sort of stuff. And you jumped right on and you were ready to go. And you were like just as excited about it at that time too. So I want to kind of, in looking back at that too, say thank you for that, because that was really encouraging for me, just getting this whole idea going. I mean, look where we are today. This is just amazing where we are today with the show. And again, as I was mentioning too, I mean, look at all these people, pages and pages, 179 shows, hundreds of guests, all of this from that original idea when we were first talking a few years back, right?
That's
So,
awesome.
So it's awesome to see where we are today, but it was really amazing to have you be a big part of that throughout those first couple of years. So again, thank you for all that you did though too, and being part of our show.
Absolutely. It felt like a great opportunity. I didn't want to pass it up. It was way outside of my comfort zone, like being on video and but it was fun. Like I got kind of into a rhythm and where it got easier over time. And so it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it definitely got easier. I'll just mention to everybody too is that so you did the Sarah's trivia segment for us, and So it's kind of like a bumper segment that would bump into our first break and out of our second break, just to kind of have a little trivia and then an answer. And we, just something a little fun that we thought of to do. And I will say that, for someone who isn't as familiar with doing video or that sort of thing, you created a script and you created and started doing things that whenever you would send me a video, I had this thing that because I'd have to take the video and have to put it in so I could put the text in there. So it would show the question, all that stuff, right? You had it down so well just within the first couple to where it was like all I had to do is just kind of drop that thing in there and change it, and it just fit almost every single time perfectly. Like your timing was excellent. It was always right on point. You had it. I mean, for someone who didn't have much experience, you would have thought that you knew what you were doing for sure.
I will say when I was a kid, I loved making home videos and pretending I was like a news lady or something.
Right.
So maybe there was something kind of left over from that even though like I hadn't done anything like the show,
Right,
before,
right.
it still I adjusted pretty quickly, I guess. So
Yeah. You did very quickly. Like I said, I was always surprised. I was like, and then it just got to the point where I was like, because there would be like, I got to fit, so much getting things all prepared for all the little segments and things like that into a certain period of time for each show every week. And so at first it was always like, oh, scramble, get it together. Do I have enough time to do this and that? So I was like worried about each little piece. But then after a few weeks, I was like, I got to worry about Sarah's piece. like she's gonna send me the videos, it's gonna fit right in, we're gonna do this and that and all that stuff. So I was always like, it got to the point where I was like, I just never had to worry about that. As long as I had video links, I could get it done, pop them right in, get them done and everything really quick. Dusty's asking, Sarah, where are you located?
Missouri, Kansas City area.
Kansas City, Missouri, out there in the Midwest, right down in the middle, basically.
Yep.
Heart of America. All right. Yeah. So again, too, anything, I don't know, I'd say any fun stories or any thoughts or anything about that over the couple of years that that you're doing that segment or anything like that.
I do remember it was harder to come up with like good seasonal questions during the winter.
Yeah. That's a good.
There's not a lot gardening wise, in January, for example. I would sometimes try to come up with like seed starting or like winter plants or things like that.
You got to kind of think a little bit outside of the seasonal box, right? You know, and really kind of figure that or I'd throw you the challenge every now and then, whereas we'd have a certain thing going on a certain weekend, and it's like, okay, Sarah, I know you sent me these ones, but can you make me one has to do with trees or one that has to do with peppers or something like that, right?
Yeah. And I loved both of those because I love trees and I love peppers. And so those were both pretty easy and I enjoyed the challenge.
Yeah, exactly. So right on again too. I have to say again, congratulations. You just got married just recently. So how's married life treating you so far as a newlywed?
It's been good. I keep joking to anyone who asks me that, well, we're still friends, so that's got to be a good sign.
Exactly.
I think I had such a negative idea about like what marriage does to people, but so far, a couple months in, like we're just us, and it feels normal. And so
just kind of nothing changes in a way other than just this status, right?
Yeah.
That's just pretty much it, for sure. So right on. You'll have to pass along to your husband congratulations from all of us as well too.
Will do.
Yeah. Right on. So what are kind of some of the things you're looking to do? And I know one of the things, are you still working on writing and all of that and thinking about doing projects as far as writing is concerned?
Yeah, writing has been my day job for the past several years. The company I worked for is kind of in the middle of a transition, and so I've been currently looking for something kind of to replace that, because my job kind of essentially disappeared
Yeah.
for the last couple months.
Oh my.
So I'm kind of in a transition period as far as that goes. But yeah, writing is the thing I kind of keep going back to.
Yeah.
Toyed with the idea of maybe doing some farmers market stuff next year. I actually sold some of my garlic this past year at the farmers market.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That was a lot of fun. So thinking about maybe doing more of that next year. Hoping to have a nice big garden next year.
Yeah.
This year, like, I was focused on getting married for a good chunk of the gardening season.
Right.
So it kind of,
once that gets into your life and you know that's coming, then it just really kind of consumes everything, right?
Yeah. I did grow sweet potatoes through the summer, but otherwise, mostly everything I grew was like early season stuff, and through the summer it kind of just went away.
Right.
But yeah, hoping for a nice big garden this next year.
Yeah. Anything in particular you look forward to growing?
I always love growing garlic because it's easy.
It's easy. That's right. Plant it and forget it. You got all your garlic in the ground already, right?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. Tucked away.
Yep. And I don't know, potatoes, sweet potatoes, cabbage. Cabbage I really enjoy growing. Carrots I always love to grow. Probably some peas. I don't know. I always make a list of, a bunch of different things, and then it's like, man, this all takes more time than I ever remember that it takes. But I love doing it. I don't always end up getting to everything I want to grow.
Yeah. There's like a gardener memory issue that kind of happens that each and every year is, like something kind of, our memory gets lost through the winter time or something from what the experience was the year before. And so again, we just start making our big plans and everything. We start digging in and trying to get them going. It's like, oh, wait a minute. The time management is something we don't necessarily plan too much or think too much about. And then we kind of run into like, oh, wow, this is all taking more time than I thought. But I learned that every single year. So it's like I forget it every single year too.
Same here.
Right? As Jay says, it's GOS, Gardener Optimism Syndrome. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. Right on. Yeah, so that's great. Got a great idea for gardening and growing in this next season and all of that too. So that's awesome to hear that you'd be right back on track with that and everything. And how, in fact, what I know this was asked earlier. I was trying to see if I still had it up here, but I don't. But what was the best thing that grew for you this last year besides your garlic?
I had really good success with cabbage, but I only had a few of them.
Yeah.
The ones I had did amazing. In fact, there's still some homemade cabbage rolls in the freezer from the cabbage that I grew.
Oh, yeah.
So I was really, really happy with that.
Yeah. I got some cabbage that's out there right now. I got to go get. It's just it's been getting eaten alive, but it's got some pretty good heads on them still. So I'm sure there's plenty still there, but those outer leaves are just getting eaten up like crazy right now. So I think I'm going to go grab them up here real soon.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Other than that, I had a lot of success with sweet potatoes too, even though I just kind of put them in the ground and forgot about them through the summer.
Yeah, I was really late to my sweet potatoes this year. So I think I don't know, I got them in just way too late. So they weren't able to really have a good full growing season. I got some good vines on a few of them that started to take off, but by the time they're getting started to take off, the weather starts to change because that's how late I was with them this year. But I think that's probably going to be one of my bigger goals this next year is to get back on top of my sweet potato game for sure.
Yeah, they're great and they're fun to grow.
Yeah, yeah. Another ones that are not hard at all either. You do got they do have the different stages. You gotta, you grow out the slips if you're not ordering slips from somewhere. You grow out your slips and then you grow the slips out to put them out, whether you put them directly or you water the roots out or something like that. So there's a couple of steps to it in a way, but they're really not hard.
Yeah.
If you get the timing right, you just kind of almost like pull the slips, get some roots, put them in there, and then just let them go, and they'll just take off and go crazy.
Yeah.
And then again, too, it's those under the ground root crops, right? Where you don't know what's there until you go digging in and finding out, right? Like with potatoes, sort of thing. You can have the big, cool, crazy vines, and it's all looking like a big, wonderful plant. But then you just go and pull those things up, and it pops out these little tiny potatoes.
Yeah.
I've had that happen.
It can be a lot of fun harvesting root crops, but it can also be a huge disappointment.
It can be for sure. That's for sure. Yeah, because you just don't know what you get until it's time, for sure. Right on. Excellent. So yeah, any other thoughts towards 2026? Any other goals you got set for yourself as you're thinking about this next year coming up?
Well, I've been working on possibly putting out a website all about mushrooms for kids.
Ooh,
so I've been working on that. If I could get that launched next year, that would be great.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, it's been fun. I like mushrooms. I don't like to eat them, but I think they're fascinating. So
same. Okay, sorry. Okay, we're in the same boat for sure. I'm not a big fan of eating mushrooms, but I love, again, like all other plants. Whether it's like eggplant in my garden. I'm not a big fan of eating eggplant, right? But I love growing the plants. I love the idea of fungi and mushrooms and just the diversity of those varieties and ways they grow and all of that sort of stuff is just completely fascinating to me. So I just really, so yeah, definitely that'll be really cool, to do something like that, kind of a mushroom thing for kids. And when you get that going and get that launched, we'll definitely have to have you back around to talk about that for sure.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, yeah. You need to find like a really good artist too, right? Someone who could do some cool like kids drawings of some mushroom varieties and cool colors and like more of like kid versions of them, not like masterpiece drawings of mushrooms, but some cool kid versions of different varieties.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, so that sounds like a fun project, and again too, working on some writing stuff as well. Yeah. Well, again, as much as sad as it was to see Sarah Seed Shop, kind of take its turn or whatever you want to say. It's closed down now and it's moving on to different directions. And again, I'm sure you're going to have some really fun, really awesome, amazing things and some really cool, creative and fun things that take advantage of your skills in writing and all of that. That you'll get to do, and I look forward to again, we're friends and all of that, and I'll keep an eye out on all of that sort of stuff. And as you got some projects that are fun, like mushrooms for kids and all that sort of stuff, we'll definitely have to welcome you back and have you on the show. But it's been great having you be a part of the show, and we'll definitely, like I said, look forward to opportunities where maybe we can have you back and have a little chat here and there.
Yeah, that would be great. So.
Yeah. Well, right on, Sarah. Again, here we are again, winding down 2025 as the year comes down to it. But it was great for you to take your time here while you're sick and not feeling so well, and popping on with us so that we can all say hi and goodbye for 2025 again. And hopefully, like I said, hopefully we'll get to see you coming around sometime here in 2026. Unbelievable, that number.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It is crazy for sure. But yeah, I look forward to possibly seeing you again later on down the road. But it was really amazing to see you here with us today. So thanks again for joining with us.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, Sarah. Right on, right on. Excellent. Thank you. We'll see you here real soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Hey, gardeners. Thanks for tuning in to our show today. We'll be right back at it here in just a moment. I just wanted to take a second here to highlight our regular videos and features here on the Urban Gardener channel. Our weekly garden journals, and our incredible featured visits. Oh, see, here we go. I got her back on again. Look at that. All right. These buttons on this thing here. I'm trying to do 5 different things at the same time right now. But again, thanks again to Sarah for joining with us here today on the show. Really great to have her here with us for our second to the last show here in 2025. And again, another chance to say hi to her. And again, just really, like I was mentioning to her when she was on, it was just really awesome that we had to have the chance to have her doing that trivia segment for us for all those years and everything. So, just really a great job that she did for all of that time. So we're going to miss her as far as the trivia segment's concerned, but as she mentioned there as well too, she's got some other things going on. So I think there'll be some other opportunities for us down the road here, maybe sometime in 26 and such, to be able to have her back on with us and come in and join in on the conversation. But it was really awesome of her to do all she did for all of that time as well too. So right on, everybody. Again, too, here we are, winding down 2025. It's our second to the last show of the year. We've had so many amazing things, amazing people, amazing guests, as we've seen already, and had a couple of conversations with Paul and David from Paul from Guten Gardening, David from Bowtie Life, joining with us for talking about our In the Garden segment just a little bit ago. And then Sarah, back again with us here talking a little bit about what she's got going on. And then we do got one more guest here to join with us here on the show for us here. And again, always got to find a way and an opportunity too, at certain points, and especially here as we're finishing up and winding down the year here on the show, to have our good friend with us from IV Organic, our sponsor. I mean, we see that commercial, we see him basically every single week, when it comes down to it, for our shows here, twice a week even. But it's good to get him here with us live on the show with us here. So let's go ahead and let me get this here ready here. And let's go ahead and welcome our good friend. Oh, here we are, Charles Malky from IV Organics, joining with us here on the show. Great to have you. I love that. Oh, that's what a nice setup there. Right on.
Yep. Welcome.
Excellent.
Hi, Nick.
Well, thanks
How
for
are
joining.
you? And the Let's Get Growing audience, and thank you for having me. Yeah, it's a pleasure, and thanks for the setup. I wanted to bring you to a new studio that we've set up for 2026, and happy to share it with your audience first.
Oh, well, perfect. Excellent. That's nice. A nice little studio. Got a great little setup there. I like the lighting in the back. That's really great too as well. It's excellent. Right on. Well, again, thanks for joining up with us here. Like I said, it's good to take an opportunity throughout the year to get you on here with us live and talk about how things are growing on with you and all of that as well too. And again, being the second to the last show of the year, looking back on 2025, it's great to have you here with us. So how has 2025 treated you, Charles?
I mean, so 2025 now is IV Organics' 10th year in business, and
10 years. Wow.
10 years. And I feel like you and I got together within the first few years of Ivory Organics development. And so it's been fun growing with you and your channel and your audience, and what we're doing now I mean, here we are in 2025, in our 10th year, and we're proud to share, obviously, for a lot of people in the gardening world, nurseries included, they had an explosive, good years during the COVID years, as a lot of people went to gardening when they couldn't work, and it was a good experience for those in the gardening world. But Ivory Organics is proud to share that obviously we had that massive boom during the COVID years, but we're proud to share that every single year has been a growing year. And here we are now in our 10th year and celebrating 10 years of continuous growth, thanks to the support of our audience and like you, that make us a part of your growing successes and share their successes in using our products. And we're super excited about that. And in regards to the studio, we've just developed it within the last month. We're actually here in one of our 2 warehouses. We're simply using the back wall here. I don't know if you can capture the other seat here. We're hoping to have some interesting guests that would like to be here live with us with the recordings. But we kicked off a new podcast called Growing with Charles Malky. And we've so far launched our first episode where we talk about the value of the Ivory Organic 3-in-1 Plant Guard, the value of our all-purpose fertilizers, and just took basically the top 3 to 5 questions and answered that in our first episode, which is now and can be found on Spotify, iTunes, and about 10 other platforms where you listen to things that you otherwise can't watch. And you can also find it on YouTube as well. For you YouTubers. So it's, again, a new platform for communicating where I love talking. I just did a lecture with California rare fruit growers where I was supposed to go on for an hour, and the audience just kept on bringing questions, and it ended up being about a 2.5-hour lesson, which I'll be sharing and publishing that lesson on the Ivory Organics platform. And but there's just so much that could be discussed and talked, as you do very well. And it doesn't need to necessarily be as the Ivory Organics platform, where we're always demonstrating different values of how the products can be applied in the garden. And there's about 400 videos on that platform over the last 10 years.
Wow. Yeah, again, too, that's going to be a really fun new adventure for you guys there. Growing with Charles Malky, for sure. Again, too. That's sounds really amazing. What are some of your other plans as far as that goes? I mean, you're talking about some really good guests and things like that you're going to do there. Is this also going to be video? Are people going to be able to watch this on YouTube as well as listen to it, maybe as far as an audio podcast?
Yeah, so within the next day or two, the first video, actually the first video is already on the Growing with Charles Malky podcast channel on YouTube, so you could watch the video. Some of the podcast channels, since there's 10 of them, do include plus video. So there's other platforms where you can watch the video and or listen. And we also have, so I told you the first episode, we just basically go into some of the top 3 to 5 questions with the Ivory Organic brand products that customers continuously ask. And so those are answered. Our second video we just recorded yesterday, and we're in the process of hopefully uploading it within the next 24 hours. So now there's going to be our second episode. Episode number 2 focuses specifically on plant evolution. Most people wonder, like, what do I need to know plant evolution for as it relates to my garden? And I feel like it's one of the most important. Obviously, it's only episode number 2, but I'm thinking it's probably one of the most important episodes in the sense that a lot of people are planting their favorite fruit trees and their favorite vegetables and so forth, but they're not taking into consideration the ecology that existed for millions of years. We're talking about with angiosperms being those perfect flower plants, such as, I know, Enoch, one of your favorites are peppers, but whether it be your peppers or tomatoes or squash or your favorite fruit, whether they be peaches, plums, or apples, those are all angiosperm plants. There's 300,000 species of plants that all evolved about 200 million years ago and have an excellent relationship with the ecosystem that surrounds your property, the bees, the hummingbirds, and so forth, in addition to the beneficial insects like your praying mantis and ladybugs and beyond. So by planting, and this is the goal with the discussion on evolution, is to integrate native plants, to find out those plants that are native to your area that attract pollinators into your garden, is of massive value to basically maximizing pollination of the plants now you are growing for value, such as your peppers or your fruit trees. And by getting more pollinators, you're going to have higher yield, better quality fruit, better tasting fruit. It's a really important thing. And so that lesson was on, again, as I said, evolution and the importance of planting native plants in every garden. And then I went into answering about 5 other customer questions. And it's basically another platform where our customers can be interactive with Ivory Organics and hear their questions, on our platform, and getting those answers linked into video and or sound, and just learning from other growers as well. So that's a platform that we've just kicked off in this month of December that will be a part of our growing success into 2026 and beyond.
Excellent. So how often you looking to put out new videos or new podcasts?
The goal is weekly. So as the questions come pouring in every week, we will compile them and read out their questions. I'll answer them live like this. And then for those that aren't watching, we'll send them those links with where they can find it. And hopefully they share their questions with their gardening network and friends and so forth, as we've done on the Ivory Organics platform 10 years ago. And I've grown to become America's leading garden product YouTube channel. So we plan on hopefully integrating that. I should have already said this. We look forward to obviously having you as one of our guests. I know you make a trip down to the LA area. And for anybody else that's watching this, if you're down here, this seat is yours. And then obviously we'll be doing some this way as well, via remotely. We can do that as well. So we look forward to doing it.
I know you're down there in Southern California, so you got a lot of opportunity and a lot of different people that can make it to come sit in the seat there live with you and everything. I thought I do have a seat over here too that people don't see off camera. But and I have another microphone set up to where I did think about, like, if anybody ever did come by, I'd have a setup to where they could be here live with me in studio as well too. But yeah, it'd be really fun to kind of see that sort of type of show where you have someone kind of live right there with you. You know what I mean? You have that discussion with them right there. Those are always some really fun conversations.
Any chance we can do a quick giveaway with your audience for those that are watching and paying attention, and they can write their answers? If I can throw in a couple, I've got 2 gifts I was thinking about. I wanted to run it by you in advance.
Oh, you got Christmas gifts for everybody.
We got Christmas coming up, and we're always in the mood for giving, as for those that really know our brand and what we're about. And my first question for your audience that are watching, and hopefully you can capture them and you'll get me their mailing address after the show, is what are the benefits of the Ivory Organics 3-in-1 plant guard? If you can list the 3 main benefits, and I'll give you guys a few minutes to hopefully answer it. So the Ivory Organics 3-in-1 plant guard protects your plants from what? Looking for the first person that can hopefully answer that for us. Hopefully,
I think you mentioned those. I think you mentioned those every single week right here on the show.
Yeah, so listen, who's paying attention. And and then the second one. So again, for those watching, it'll include free shipping anywhere in the United States in addition to the gift. While you guys are putting in the answers for that, this person that ends up winning this cannot participate with the second and final question. And another giveaway is this 4-pound bag of our all-purpose fertilizer. It has plus azomite. And my question to you are, what are the 6 plant macronutrients? Everyone in the growing world, I'd say in the high 95 percentile, think that plants only have 3 macronutrients. And we're proud to share that the Ivory Organics all-purpose fertilizers have all 6 plant macronutrients plus azomite, which gives your plants a lot of the micronutrient nutrition as well. This is a 4-pound bag. It retails for about $80. And we're including it for free with free shipping to, again, the person that can list all by the elements. I'll give away the first 3. Your NPK stands for nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. I'm looking for who can get all 6 plant macronutrients. You get a free bag of fertilizer, free shipping anywhere in the United States. Do we have some answers coming in? the screen's a little bit too far from
here.
me.
Let's see. What do we got? I've got, let's see. I think Paul was the first here, said sunburn, sun scald, and insects. Dusty Flat says repels pests, rodents, and sunburn. And
yeah, I'm going to take that one. I'm going to take that one only because you got the pests, which are the insects, and then the rodents. So if you got the sun and the insects and the rodents first, then you win. And a quick summary: the Ivory Organic 3-in-1 Plant Guard is basically a dry formulation. You add water to the can, you fill it up to the top, and you have a good brush-on solution for painting your tree trunks and lower branches. You can dilute this can to make about 22 to 25 of these bottles, or it makes up to 5 gallons of foliar spray that you can spray on your entire plant. And then you can also add less water to it and create a tree paste, ideal for grafting wounds or other significant damage to your plant. The general concept of this product, and again, it's OMRI certified. Most of our products are OMRI certified, meaning commercial organic orchards can rely on the product. And again, in general, the 3-in-1 Plant Guard curbs weather extremes, the hottest days of summer and the coldest days of winter, protects your plants from insects in addition to girdling rodents, especially in the winter months across the country. Rodents will sometimes start chewing on the bark to get to the underlying sap. This product has mint oils in it, as well as castor oils in there that repel and deter rodents from wanting to gnaw on your protected branches. So that's the 3-in-1 Plant Guard, and I'm happy to give that to your first winner. Do we have any answers for the fertilizer?
Let's see here real quick too, as we're moving on with that. I'm trying to find, where's it at? It's in here somewhere. There we go. Let's put this up here. Dusty, you won the first round there. Just email me your address or shipping information to the urbangardener@mail.com, and I'll pass that along to Charles for you there. Okay. And then let's see here. We have, what are the 6 plant macronutrients? Oh, I think we got an answer in here. Where we got? There we go. Let's see what we got. Nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, sulfur, calcium, and magnesium.
There we go. That's it. So
is that the
for
one?
those of you watching it, that's our winner. Congratulations. Who is it?
This is Big Will Dog. We got Will. Awesome.
Great job.
Awesome.
Quick recap.
Excellent.
Magnesium, for those of you watching and learning, magnesium is the heart of the chlorophyll molecule. Calcium is an important macronutrient for the cell walls of plant. And the dry weight of the plant, it's about 30% of the weight is calcium. And the third one, sulfur, important for metabolic processes, enzymatic reaction. Important for the greening of the plant is sulfur. Aside from nitrogen, sulfur is another very important greening molecule. So NPK, Mg, SCA are your 6 plant macronutrients, and I'm so glad your audience got it that quickly. It usually takes a lot longer when I teach live lectures, and you obviously got a smart group. And
I was going to say, my folks around here got to know about some Ivy Organic. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Our community around here got to know about that.
Yeah.
That's
so
sure.
We're always so excited to be a part of your show. Looking forward to having you also on this end as well. Wishing your entire audience a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa for the Seinfeld fans. Merry Festivus, and
yes.
wishing you all happy, healthy New Year's, and looking forward to hopefully just growing with you guys. A quick helpful tip for those of you watching and have not yet subscribed: make sure you subscribe to all the Let's Get Growing live channels and platforms. Subscribing is the easiest thing you can do. It's free and shows your support and brings massive value to the audience. So for those of you that are here watching and have not yet subscribed, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and show your support and your love that way. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And Will, drop in your shipping information there to the urbangardener@mail.com, and I'll pass that along to Charles so that pass that fertilizer on to you there too. Right on, right on. Well, excellent, excellent. So yeah, again, thanks for the giveaway, Charles. It's always awesome. I should have sorry everybody, should have expected that to happen. I'm battling a cold up over here. Sorry, you guys. I've actually been able to hit the mute button a couple of times for a couple of coughs there, but that one kind of snuck up on me. So right on, excellent. And so tell me, how did the garden grow? I know you got a little backyard garden and all that sort of thing. How'd that go in 2025? Did you find enough time to get out there with the girls and do some growing at all?
I have plans more so for 2026.
Yeah.
It's really been surprising, and the team keeps on growing, but I keep finding myself with less and less time. My dream and my vision, again, for those that don't know me, my passion for gardening started at a very young age. My earliest memories, 5 years old, 6 years old, helping mom in the garden, working with my
Yeah.
mom's dad, also my grandfather, and then carrying all of my education at the university level, most of my courses being in the botany, as I was preparing myself for pre-med years, and all the medical research and things that I've done was all, plant driven, and medicine being that it's, you know 55-60% of all medicines are derived from plants. That whole value of plants and the importance of having plants in our lives. And
Mhm.
also, I just want to add, aside from having these teachers from the family level to the professor level to, and as you mentioned, living here in LA, I'm working with like some of the best experts on the planet. I'll start off with Tom Spellman, who I'd say is the leading
Yeah.
educator on fruit trees on the planet, lives like about an hour away, and we do about 5 to 10 collaborations every year. Edgar Valdivia, who's the like wizard when it comes to dragon fruit. Dragon fruit would not be in the United States in part had it not been for him and his value, and him encouraging growers to bring this valuable fruit from overseas to America. And most people see Edgar Valdivia as like the king of dragon fruit, or at least
Yeah.
one of the, his education goes back about 60 years on bringing dragon fruit to the country. Other great ones, Floyd Zager, who has an orchard up in Modesto. If any of you have ever heard of a pluot, which is a cross between the
Mm-hmm.
plums and the apricots, he's crossed thousands of fruits for the last 60 to 70 years. So some of the best tasting peaches, apricots, plums, nectarines, and so forth, all come from the Zager orchard. Most people don't know this, and I just about a month ago published another video, and fortunately recorded with him about 5 years ago. So if you type into your YouTube search Ivory Organics and Floyd Zager, or trying to think other keywords, but that would probably be it, just Zager in general, you'll see his orchard and learn the education on how he accomplishes hybridizing some of the best tasting fruit on the planet. So just all of these awesome interactions. It's just been so amazing, and
Yeah.
that's why like we're just trying to figure out how do we get to the next level. What's next for us? And I know
Yeah.
this is a journey. You always ask yourself, and we do talk also off camera,
Yeah.
and we're always looking for ways to learn. And our audience, by the way, and I can tell you with this with 100% certainty, our audience shapes us. The questions we
Mm-hmm.
get, the feedback, the criticism, the compliments, that navigates our ship. So
Yeah.
we love the interactions. I don't respond to a lot of comments on my platform, unfortunately, but I see them all,
Yeah.
and because it pops up on my phone all day long. And I love all the support, and I just want to thank you all for still commenting, even though you sometimes don't get more than a thumbs up or a heart on your comments. I see it, but I'm doing my best to keep up with you all. And I do have more and more people that we keep on adding to the team, just to make sure that, our audience feels love, and sees that we're working hard for them.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You do so much. I mean, as far as, like a company in that sort of sense of outreach, you know what I mean, when it comes to people who are in your community and that sort of thing, as well as us here and all of that. Even going back to, as you were mentioned just a little bit earlier, I mean, it's hard to believe 10 years, right? And we've known each other now over 8 years because I you were one of the first people I got to interview and talk with, and when I was setting out on this adventure of doing YouTube and everything on one of my very first visits down to Los Angeles. And so it's just been really awesome to be able to, again, as you were saying too, to kind of, grow along with you to watch Ivy Organic, become in what it is today, and and to be able to see and witness that as a friend and a co-contributor to different projects we've done together and everything. So that's been really awesome to for one, see that growth, see the new things that you're talking about today, and these new adventures, these new things that you're setting out to do and everything, to continue to grow, to continue to offer more, to do more for those who follow along with Ivy Organics. But it's also really awesome of you to be again so supportive of the community. So when I started this show, I was like, oh, I need, we need to like have someone we can work with, a good company, a good brand, people who care about the community, that sort of stuff. And it was just immediately, I was like, I got to call Charles over at Ivy Organic. We've got to work on this project together and everything. And again, as I mentioned to Paul and David earlier in the show today, and Sarah as well too, it was really encouraging to me as someone who's just wanting to start and had this idea for doing all of this sort of stuff, to create a show where you're bringing together some of the top garden communicators from around the world, but also getting to meet and learn from and introduce smaller creators and that sort of thing, and kind of meld that all together in a kind of a garden community meetup that we do each weekend here with the Let's Get Growing show. So it was really awesome, for you as well as everyone else who I reached out to and we're connected with to get this show started and everything, that you were so enthusiastic and ready to jump on board and let's do this, and let's grow, right? Let's get growing. And so for me, I have to extend my thank you for you and your company and all that you've done in order to support us here at the Let's Get Growing show, over the years now. It's 3 years, Charles. We've been doing this show now since we first started talking about
Can't believe it.
And earlier here, you didn't get to see this, but I was going through, this is the show master list of all of our guests that we've had since we got started, starting with, when we got started in 2023. I'm going to put this up here, and you can't really see because of the lights too well, but this is page after page. I don't know, get your pages. Look at all these people we've had here and all the things we've done, leading up to 179 shows when we close out tomorrow's show, and we'll be looking at show number 200 in this next year. And we've got to talk to some of the biggest, smartest teachers in the gardening community right here on this show,
on the planet,
to your partnership with us, on the planet, right?
On the planet.
Yeah.
So you've networked people from all over the world, and it's truly phenomenal and amazing watching what you've done, better than anybody else. So big congratulations to you, and you've created a wealth of library of information that people can tap into and learn from. Again, the most influential people on the planet.
Yeah, I was kind of explaining this to Jay the other day. Or a couple weeks back, was that the show, I may have created it, came out of my idea, thought I had, and then I started reaching out to people, and then they helped me build it into what it is. But the show really is kind of an entity of its own. It's kind of, what I mean? It's built a body of work in a sense of over the last couple of years that I think it's just really it's hard for me to put myself in that place, and I really appreciate the thanks that I get from everybody and all that sort of stuff. But it's hard for me to put myself in that place when it comes down to it. But when I look at this list and I look at this thing and thinking about the original idea and sitting here today, and if I would have told myself, again, when we got this started, that you'd be sitting here 3 years, 179 shows you have talked to, all of these just amazing, if I'd started listing out the names of the people, and it's just too many to even try to start, and just to think that we would have accomplished that would have blown me away then, to be sitting here today thinking about it. But it really comes down to great partnerships and community, though, right?
Absolutely.
This sort of level of networking, and it really was the goal of this show, was to be a place, in the gardening community where we can all come and kind of meet each other, get to know and learn from each other, and for some, I think like, we get to have, say, I'll throw someone like, one of the biggest guests we've had on the show, Mark Valencia from Self-Sufficient Me, right? Well, there's a lot of people get to watch his videos and do all that sort of stuff, but you get to see him on the show here. You get to see him in a different way, and you get to talk with him and interact with him and ask questions and do that sort of thing. So it's a whole different type of experience with these folks than what you would get with seeing them on their channels and where they're at, right?
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's just amazing that we get to do that. I can't believe where we are, but I always give credit to everybody else because I just really think it's just, we are what we are because of the contributions of the community who really come here to be a part of this. I mean, this can't be this type of show or do what it does without the people who are watching and participating and coming and joining with us here each and every week too. And
sure.
great sponsorship and folks who work with us as well, like your company as well too.
No, I see it as it's obviously it's just as a newly planted tree 3 years in, it's now developing canopy. It's going into bloom. It's just getting smarter. It's just getting better.
Developing a great understory.
Days, yeah, every single month, every year, we're learning. And as gardeners, I feel like what also motivates us, and you're talking about also my backyard gardener. I mentioned my grandfather. My vision, my dream since I was very young, was to be like my grandfather in the garden 8 hours a day. And I feel like I'm nowhere near being able to do that. And I know most gardeners are not, able to put in that many hours. But it's truly, I mean, your hours in the garden are your therapy. They should be your happiest, healthiest moments of your day are the time that you get to spend in your garden and then reaping the benefit, whether it be some flowers or if it's hopefully you're growing some food that's going to be more organic and more fresh than you can get at the organic, health food stores. So at the end of the day, you're growing your own medicine, you're growing your peace of mind, you're improving your health, you're learning. And then the other thing too, for both of us, whether it be in the garden or on the show, is we're evolving towards hopefully something bigger and better. And I do feel like with each year that passes, and here we are now approaching the New Year's, is how do we, what lessons have we learned? How do we make next year better? Whether it be in the garden or on this podcast, how do we make it better? And those are the lessons that we're going to reflect upon, in the coming weeks and hopefully deliver something that the world wants and is even more receptive to. And again, it only comes with the support of this audience that's watching right now.
Yeah, it really does. And like you said, I'm just looking so much forward to, what's to come in this next year. We got some new stuff as well for the Let's Get Growing show that we're going to be talking all about coming up tomorrow on the show for our final show. We'll be talking and looking ahead at 2026. But already, as you were saying too, after this year, lots of great things as far as the show's concerned, just an amazing amount of guests and people that we had. But as the garden was concerned, being out there, it wasn't quite my best, but it still was really great. There were a lot of lessons that I learned this year and things that I'm going to carry on into 2026. And we'll have an even better, even greater garden and even better and even greater year when it comes to our show this next year. And that's yours as well too. We're going to grow together.
Always, for sure.
Absolutely. Well, again, thanks, Charles, for jumping on here with us here to hang out with us for what's going to be our second or our penultimate Let's Get Growing show of 2025, and a great opportunity for us to be able to catch up with you here too. So it's great to have you here today. I look forward to follow along with you and again partnering with you and going and doing even greater, bigger things here coming up in 2026 for both of us and both of our ventures here.
Looking forward.
Excellent, Charles. Well, thank you so much for being here again, and we'll see you, I'm sure, sometime coming up here in 2026.
Wonderful. Well, happy holidays again. Wishing you all a happy New Year's. And, again, it's always an honor and a privilege to be here on your show. And thanks for inviting me. Thank you.
Yep. It's honor and privilege is ours to have you here. and to have you a part of our show. And thanks again for your continued support. You and your family and the Ivy Organics brand and all of that are just really amazing to us. So thank you. Happy holidays. Be sure to tell the family from all of us here at Let's Get Growing that we wish them Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
I will. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Take care.
Thanks, Charles. You got it.
Bye, guys. Take care.
All right. There we go. How about that? What another great show here. All finished up. We had some really great discussions, great guests today, contributors to the Let's Get Growing show here in 2025. A little look back on just what has really been just an amazing, great year when it comes down to it, as I was mentioning with Charles, when it comes to the show and all of that. There's been some hiccups. There's been some bumps in the road. I mean, as everybody's familiar, who's been following along, remember back to this summer, we had our big electrical storm that just basically destroyed all of my electronics. And it was kind of a long road out of all of this technological stuff that we had to deal with this year. But we fought through it and we made it through it. And we still had a bunch of really great guests, really amazing shows throughout the year. Here, as I was mentioning too, like 179 shows. We've got lots and lots more coming up as well too tomorrow for what will be our final show of the year 2026. We're going to be looking ahead. So I look forward to seeing all of you guys here with us tomorrow as we'll look at some new things. We got a couple of new announcements. Got some new stuff to talk about as well too. So some things that'll be going on in 2026 that you won't want to miss out. So you'll definitely want to make sure that you're here with us tomorrow. Again, I do want to mention, if you didn't get a chance to check out last week's community show, definitely go back and check out last week's community show. We had a really, really great get together and hang out with some new faces from our Let's Get Growing community here. So you want to go back and check out that, as well as our Sunday edition of last weekend with Scott Wilson from Gardener Scott, answering all of your gardening questions. And then the Sunday edition before that, we had our final book club of the year 2025 book review. So we got to interview Mark and I, Mr. MBC got to interview just amazing authors this year on our third Sunday of the month, monthly gardening book club. So yeah, great review, hangout. You want to go back and check that out the week before last on the Sunday edition. So yep, lots and lots, not much else to really talk about as far as everything else. Like I said, you want to make sure you're here with us tomorrow for the 2026 look ahead Sunday edition of the show. And then after that, we're going to be taking a little bit of a break. It's going to be about 3 weeks or so. We'll be off here, but we'll be back again at it for 2026 on January 17th. January 17th, 2026, we'll be back at it again with more guests and more great things, some new stuff as well. Like I said, you want to definitely come back and check with us tomorrow to learn about some of the stuff that we've got coming up for 2026 here on the Let's Get Growing show. Just lots of really, really great stuff. Like I said, ahead of us here coming up. And again, thank you everybody for being here today. It's just really awesome to hang out with all of you and to get to hang out with Bowtie David, Paul earlier, Sarah. How awesome to be able to get a chance to catch up with Sarah and see how she's been doing and everything too, as well as a really great conversation with Charles and Ivy Organics today. So again, thank you all so much for being here with me today. Let's see here. Oh, let's see here. Oh, David was saying here is I learned how great this community really is this year. Yeah. I think this was really a community year for us where we're just really connecting with each other. I think that's what we really accomplished this year, was really solidifying and really building a great tight-knit community here for sure. Oh, I see Trina here. So from So and Tear. You see her on our community show last week. Right on, listening in while baking cookies today. Awesome. Thank you for being here. See Rick as well too. Awesome. Great to see you, Rick, as well too. Thank you for joining in with us here. I know we're finishing up today, but it was really great show today. And if you can, before we do finish up here, everybody, let's go ahead and let's click that like button, hit the thumbs up there, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Hit the bell notification to be notified of all of our upcoming videos and live streams, all of them coming up here in 2026 for sure. And then again, too, our big goal for 2026, really, I mean, it's a goal all the time, really, for a show like this, is to constantly be growing and constantly be building our audience and all of that. But let's make that a big community goal for us here in the Let's Get Growing show. Let's really build out the community. Let's get our friends. Let's share and get some more of our friends to come join with us here on the weekends and come hang out with us and come be a part of this. Just really, just a really amazing, awesome opportunity that we all get here, including myself, to be able to hang out with just the wider gardening community and some of these just amazing people out there sharing all of their gardens with us throughout the garden year. So definitely share with all your friends. Let them know we're here every Saturday and Sunday, including tomorrow. Come join us for our last show of the year tomorrow, and follow all the links down below. I'm sure you can find a link there to Paul from Guten Gardening, one of our guests today. Link to Bowtie Life in the Garden. Check out David there as well. We've got a link to Ivy Organics. Go get some of that Ivy Organic. In fact, go check them out at ivyorganics.com. Use our promo code GROW10, GROW10. Get some Ivy Organic for yourself, or maybe gift some to a gardener friend of yours as well. It's the holidays, so go on and get some of that too as well too. I do want to mention too, before we do finish up as well, we will be talking a little bit more about this, as we'll be introducing some more things and doing some stuff in 2026 when it comes to kind of donations and how we'll be raising money and things like that as a show. We're going to be leaning a little bit more into this as we move into 2026 and beyond. But I do appreciate any contributions that any of you might have to our show, as far as donations that help pay for all of the different little things that it costs to do and run and produce and put together a show like this, as well as some things and opportunities that it would allow us to be able to do in improving and putting on bigger and better types of shows that we want to do as we're moving forward. So I appreciate any sort of donations and contributions that you guys have, and if you can check out some links down below to like Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, and those sort of things for direct donations. You can always drop in super chats if you like. Like I said, we'll be talking about and leaning a little bit more into this next year. We'll be maybe putting out memberships and some other things like that as well too. So that's something that we'll be talking about as we move on into 2026. So definitely check those things out down below in our description there. And I appreciate all that you can give, especially here in the holiday season. If you got a little extra to give, go ahead and drop us a little bit here, and we'll put it to good use in 2026. So again, thank you everybody for being here. It's really great to hang out with you. We got one more show left here tomorrow, our Sunday edition, our look at 2026. I can't wait to hang out with all of you one last time in 2025. So I'll see you all again tomorrow for the Sunday edition of the show. We'll see all of you then.
right, take the run. See you on the flippy flops.